Welcome to Lifestyles with Terry Lynn. Today I'm just trying to tackle life's problems. Yesterday we got some, I thought it was going to be an upbeat thing. Well, we had a real estate agent come over here and appraise the home. News, I went to do a video, a cooking video, and it didn't go well. It was a internal storage problem. And I tried the editing and I worked up until midnight and it just couldn't work it out. I had a ton of dishes to do. These are the ones that are done. Here's the ones I haven't done. So I need to tackle this real quick. Oh, and I can't run too much. This video's gotten too long already, I can tell you. I'll just start with putting these dishes away. That's a start, isn't it? We're here. Here's what I got done. I had a tub of rinse water when I washed these, by the way. Then it got kind of soapy, so then I just rinsed these off in the sink. I'm done. Thank God. Now I need to move on to baking some biscuits and maybe some cookies if we have time. I may have to do that in another video. I'm going to warm up my coffee. It got cold. I've got half a cup left, but I want to warm it up in the microwave. Maybe 20 seconds should do it. I just sat down at the dining room table and I'm drinking my coffee. Speaking of dishes, do you know what the first thing when the real estate agent walked in the back door, first thing she asked, do you have a dishwasher? My husband said no. She said, oh, that's a problem. I guess dishwashers, especially if they're installed and not just mobile, they really, bring up the value in your home, and especially in your kitchen, I suppose. If your kitchen's not renovated, if you at least newly renovated or updated, according to today's standards, how a kitchen should look. If you have a dishwasher, I guess it brings up the value of your home. That's amazing. So, but I don't know how we could have it installed. But I would love to have a dishwasher. That would save me a tremendous amount of time because I cook from scratch primarily. So we're supposed to get a mobile one, and that's better than not having one at all. So he's waiting on someone that's going to give it to us, a friend of his. But his friend's been preoccupied. He's been busy doing things, and hopefully we'll get one soon. It was an experience, but she was a really nice, and she's really genuine. We were going to use her to sell his mother's house, but his sister used someone else. And she's one of the best real estate agents you're going to find in town. And I'm not going to say who she is, but she's pretty amazing. But she was very honest, straightforward and honest, and she told us like it was. So hopefully we'll get some touch-up paint. We'll get some painting done here. Inside the house. I told him first thing that's what I would do. Because I've watched a lot of home and garden, home improvement shows over the years. I knew that was the first thing. I knew the bathroom was not going to give us back what we put into it, being over here on this street, on this busy street. So it just seems more like inner city Columbus when you live on a busy street, that's for sure. And people want to live on quiet side streets. So it makes a huge difference. But the other matter, years ago, I had a girlfriend from church, and she was in a mixed marriage, and she had kids, and they were mixed, biracial, and her husband worked quite a bit, so he was working, and they were looking to buy a new home, and she went and looked at some homes, and she talked to a real estate agent, and it was a fairly nice home in a fairly nice neighborhood, and the real estate agent gave her high hopes. You'll probably get this house for sure. They had not seen her husband yet. Okay, then they met again. They went to do the signing, I think. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. It came real close to they were real close to getting the house. As soon as they saw her husband, they called her up the next day and said something came up and someone else got the house. So she's pretty sure that it was based on race, why they didn't get the home. Now, I know I don't explain things real well, but I think you understand what I'm saying in layman's terms. That's very, very wrong. It's not right, to not to give someone a house or not to sell a home to someone because they're of a race that you don't want in the neighborhood. So that does happen. Discrimination, that's what that is, based on race. And I think that might be part of the reason why the houses go for less over here on Weber Road and over that way, east of, is it east? No, south of Weber Road. And it's also based on the fact that there's a lot of people on drugs, especially young people, and homeless people just walking the streets, and prostitutes, and it's terrible. And people just throw trash down, and in the alley they threw trash down, and my husband had to go pick it up. And this was one of the cleanest alleys in this area until recently. I was bragging about it in a video when I was walking the dogs. Now it's just the opposite. We've had to call the police. We had someone overdosing in our backyard. Well, I think they were overdosing. We had to call the emergency squad to come and get them. And when they heard that a squad was coming, they took off on their bike and they almost fell down. And it was just horrible. They evidently may have had a warrant against them, a warrant for their arrest. And they didn't want to be picked up because they thought they might go to jail or something. I don't know. It's not a good neighborhood. So just try to make the best of it and keep the peace with everyone. We have some really nice neighbors. So, and I think it's wrong that, a house can't sell for as much just because it's in a neighborhood that's considered a bad neighborhood and you're one street over from a good neighborhood. That really sucks. That really sucks. I remember years ago when I was in Atlantic City, I stayed in a motel to save money. And I looked around the neighborhood and it was really raunchy. Thought, what am I doing here? But I don't know. I just wanted to save money. But I walked over just a couple blocks over, and here was the boardwalk. And I think Trump has a new casino there. And it was beautiful. And, I thought, my God, just 2 blocks over, and it's a slum area. And then you go from that to this highfalutin casino that they're building and all these other casinos they had already built, of course. And high rollers going to Atlantic City. And then 2 blocks from that, people were homeless in poverty. I mean, I really noticed it then. And I looked around and I've seen a lot of poverty, a lot of people of all different races suffering. And it's a shame. And people being discriminated against and treated badly because of their race or their religion. It's just horrible. It's not the way the world should be. It's not the way the United States should be. And I hope that change will come, and for the better, because there are a lot of good people under Trump, and I hope that they'll talk some sense into him and he'll do good. All right, then I think I'm going to call this to a halt. God bless each and every one of you, and keep your spirits high, and good Lord willing, I'll see you on the next one.